chasing after the sun. We would be amazing together as one. Oh, there's no turning back for the both of us. No point of denying the truth. Let go of the past and get stronger. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in me, believe in love. Believe in the fire between us. 'Cause it will be so heavenly. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in the fire between us. Believe in the fire between us. I know what you're facing, I know what you fear. But soon you'll be ready, your mind will be clear. There's no turning back for the both of us. No point of denying the truth. Let go of the past and get stronger. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in me, believe in love. Believe in the fire between us. 'Cause it will be so heavenly. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in the fire between us. The love in our hearts is causing these flames. The will in our minds will keep them forever. Just believe in the fire between us. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in me, believe in love. Believe in the fire between us. 'Cause it will be so heavenly. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in me, believe in love. Believe in the fire between us. 'Cause it will be so heavenly. Just believe in the fire between us.
We've had this conversation, and you seem to agree with me. But when there's complications, you withdraw and leave me to be. When there's a problem, you become like a wall. And every time I trip, it's a free fall. Why don't you help me the way I help you? You don't have to save me, just be my parachute. When I'm feeling down, you're just not there, making sure I'm okay. Why don't you help me the way I help you? sunshine. I've got you now. When body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body. I know love now. And you're stuck in my mind. When body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body. My friends don't like that I'm with somebody, that I'm with somebody. Oh no, oh no. I just want to stay in this melody, stay in this melody. Oh, oh. I've got sunshine, I've got you now. When body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body. I know love now, and you're stuck in my mind. When body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body. My friends don't like that I'm with somebody, that I'm with somebody. Oh no, oh no. I just want to stay in this melody, stay in this melody. Oh, oh.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Sean. I'll be your host. I hope you're having a good night. It was such a beautiful evening, so I decided to do it outside. I didn't realize there'd be dump trucks right over there. So I hope you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. Yeah, hopefully they won't be making too much noise because it's like almost 7 o'clock here. So I don't know why they'd be working right now. But it's pretty loud over there, so they might be finishing up their day. But oh my gosh. Okay. I'm not gonna be distracted. We're just gonna have a live out in nature. I'm gonna be like Johnny Drone Flyer. It was peaceful out here a minute ago, y'all. I guarantee you. So there's a guy with a flatbed truck over there backing up, and he's honking because he can't see where he's backing up. So anywho, I have had a crazy week. You guys know last week I had to cancel the live stream at the last minute because I got so I went to the dentist and I thought it was just a, just kind of a normal checkup. I had a tooth fall out, this tooth right here, back in February. I was biting down on something and the cap that I've had since I was 12 years old fell off and I swallowed it. And so they put a new cap on. And so I thought this was just like a checkup. I thought they were going to like wiggle it and see if it's still attached or something. And apparently I'm close to 50 years old. And this is the time where it's crucial to brush your teeth and floss your teeth so the next 10 years, 20 years, they don't fall out. And so they took a little poker and poked all my gums, and they found several teeth where it's not completely serious yet, but if my gums don't improve, then my teeth might fall out. So it's like periodontist disease or something. Oh my gosh. But so anyway, I had that appointment it was pretty early. It was kind of around lunch. And I was just, since I was out at the dentist office, I was like, man, I'm going to get me something good for lunch after the dentist appointment. Well, the dentist appointment lasted 3 hours. They numbed my mouth. They put shots in my gums, like all these different spots. And then they cleaned the crap out of my teeth. Not that I had crap in my teeth, but she cleaned the mess out of it. And I've never really like feared the dentist. Like I don't have like a phobia of dental professionals, but now I don't want to ever go back. She poked the bottom of my mouth in a place, and it hurt me. Like she poked a nerve, and I almost jumped out of my seat. And then she's like, oh, he's not numb there. So she took a needle about this big and just shoved it like down here, and like she numbed all of this. But what it ended up doing was it numbed it numbed my lip for one, but like my whole goatee, like this whole part of my face was numb. And I looked in the mirror and I talked and my face was all weird. And I had a huge headache too, but right around 6:30, right around live stream time, was when all the numbing went away. But my tongue didn't work very well, and my mouth was super dry. No matter what I drank, my mouth was dry. And when the painkillers wear off and all of a sudden you can actually feel what happened. I decided to cancel. I haven't canceled my live stream much. But anyway, I'm here with y'all tonight. Y'all get 100% Sean. So I want to go through who all's here for now. So I'm going to go all the way back up to the top. CT Pirate is first. And I forgot your name. Crap. I had your name 2 weeks ago. And if I'd have been here last week, I'd have known your name. Crap. All right. I need to learn your name again. I need to write this. I need to have a list of y'all's names and match them up with your avatar names. But anyway, I hope you're having a good night. I will try my hardest to remember your name in the future. Eat more possums in the house. Uh-oh, I just got a chat. So what is it? Nope. Y'all, it's behind a little bit. Okay. So CT Pirates in the house. That's what he looks like. And then Eat More Possums in the house. Greetings. Hope you're having a good night. Steven Drones is third in the house. So Stephen Drones says, fly for fun, fly visual line of sight, and don't fly over anyone. And we have a service. We're going to talk about one of his comments on Club Foxhorn this week, and just kind of discuss it, because it has to do with FPV drones and flying visual line of sight, and what's the difference between recreational FPV visual line of sight and or whether you're Part 107. Do you need to be more concerned about visual line of sight if you're Part 107, or does it matter? So we're going to talk about all those things, and I want to hear your guys' comments on it. And but I also don't want this channel to be like the rules police either. Each and every one of you are adults, and you get to choose whether you follow the rules or not. I just happen to be on a YouTube channel following most of the rules. And so we're going to talk about that rule tonight, and whether it's super valid, whether remote ID has anything to do with it. So I'm going to talk about all that. Visual observers. If you have a buddy with you, is that a good enough visual observer? Or if you're flying by yourself, whether you should have a visual observer or not. And also the goggles that you can double tap on some of the new DJI goggles, and you can actually see through the camera. Is that visual line of sight enough? So we're going to talk about all that stuff tonight. But I am also not the authority on the subject. But Stephen Drones brings it up, and as a person that doesn't fly FPV drones, but is very concerned about following the rules, he brought it up in Club Foxhorn. So we're gonna address that tonight, because over the lifetime of flying drones, there were rules that everybody followed, and then it was decided that those rules weren't like, they changed a little bit, especially with remote ID coming out. A lot of the no-fly zones have turned into fly zones, because now there's a like a GPS on the flyer. So if someone's doing something stupid and they have a remote ID, someone can actually go find that person and beat them up. So so anyway, so with some security changes and fly zone changes, and some addendum to rules, things have changed over time. So we're just going to discuss some of those things. So Stephen Jones is in the house. East Coast Thrills is in the house. Covaction's in the house. What's up, Covaction? Hope you're having a good night. Chuck from Covaction reminds us that epidemic sound makes it easy to find the right vibe for a video. Who else we got? So East Coast Thrills says that watching these storm chasers are crazy. 5-inch diameter hail in South Texas right now. Yeah, I had to stop watching that. Whoa, that was weird. My Siri on my watch just started going crazy and showing me the weather. But we've had some crazy storms in the past couple weeks. We had one really, really bad storm, and then we were supposed to have really bad storms. I think it was Sunday, and I sat on the back porch. I sat right over there, and over there is like a covered area, and I watched it rain, and that was about it. There was thunderstorm watch all day, or there was a tornado watch all day, and it ended up just being nice out. So anyway, but yeah, I got kind of hooked on that live YouTube channel. You might have sent it to me. But I started getting to the place where it was just like watching the news. Like, I've got enough problems in my life that I don't want to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. So that's kind of why I don't like to watch the news, is because if the news was full of happy things, like I like watching videos of like people feeding the homeless, or um, you know, documentaries of people being nice to other people. Those are the things that I like, and those are real people, and those are real things that are happening. But I don't like watching like the news. I feel like the news, especially these days, maybe because it's an election year, or maybe because um, the left is in charge. Um, like, we get a lot of news that's like just extra dramatic. And I've got a 12-year-old daughter, and that's all the drama I need. I don't need to know what things are like in California, or things are like in Texas, or things are like in Florida, or some school that was shot up all the way across the country. Like, there's enough drama in Nashville to almost get me down. And if I just watch the world's drama, I can't deal. I can't do it. I need to be happy. Um, I get that there's people in the world suffering. There's people in the world that are at war with each other. There's people that don't understand each other. Um, there's a bunch of stuff going on with identity, whether it's the color of your skin, or the whether you think you have a penis or not. Like, there's all these weird things going on in the world right now that I don't really need in my life. If you are in my life and you treat me with respect, I will treat you with respect back. If you are in my life and you don't treat me with respect, then I will just remove you from my life and move on with my life. So, and then there's also forgiveness too. Like, we need to forgive each other. It's not like you did me wrong once and I will never talk to you again. But anyway, that's why I don't like to watch the news. And that was a crazy tangent from Sean Foxhorn. So what's up, Dewey? Dewey's in the house. I'm getting behind, so I need to catch up, y'all. What else we got? I also have really bad sinuses in this side of my face. So sitting outside tonight might just make things worse, but I'm not going to talk to y'all for another week. I'll probably make a video this week, but yeah. So Captain Joe's in the house. What's up, Captain? Hope you're having a good night. I never know how to say your name. Obviously your name's Joe, but USA Drone Flyer, Captain Joe America. Like, that's your whole thing. But like, Captain Joe America is kind of what I want to say. But then you've got USA Drone Flyer up at the front. Are those two different channels or two different brands? Or I guess I never really thought about it. But I always say Joe because there's an actual name in there. But anyway, curious about that. Outdoor stream neighbors gone. Never mind, you got a dump truck. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw it, but the last time I did a live stream outside, I get a little bit of a lag being out here because the internet is like 3 walls that way. There's 3 walls in the way of my internet that way. I need to put a Google Wi-Fi just kind of out, maybe like sitting on that windowsill or something like that, so we can have internet in the backyard. But sometimes there's a lag, and when I hit in stream here, it acted on my computer like the stream had ended. And Maria, my neighbor, the girl next door, she was just screaming at the top of her lungs about it like a butterfly or something. And so I said something at the end of the stream like, "You got to be kidding me," or "Dang it," or like I said something at the end of the stream. It's pretty funny. Um, but yeah, no neighbors right now, so hopefully it'll stay that way. Oh, I hear some sound over there. I hope my mother doesn't let my cat out or something. So let's see who else we got. I said hi to Dewey, right? Dewey's in the house. What's up, Dewey? So Dewey crashed his Mini 2. That's a sad day. It's sad when you have anything you spent money on and anything that you have fun with, like crap. So 100% Sean Foxhorn. So East Coast hates adulting. I hate adulting sometimes too. I'm going through a lot at work right now where I'm trying to have a strong opinion in a meeting, and I'm trying to support my team, and I've been kind of flagged as hard to work with because I'm stubborn, and I don't like this is the whole point of my job, is to stand my ground. But anyway, there's a lot of drama at work, and I'm like, I don't even know why there's drama here, but I'm having to figure out kind of where my place is, what do I need to back down on, how can I present, because my job at work is to make sure that the design standards and design patterns that we've decided are followed by the developers and the product managers and stuff like that. And I hate being in that position, and then also being like a strong male, working with a lot of different POs that are like kind of emotional and getting their feelings hurt. And I'm like, but the thing that drives me the most nuts about work is we'll make a decision in a meeting full, like there'll be like, I don't know, 15, 20 people that all agree that this is the way we're going to do something. And then I'll get little side texts or little side chats saying, "Hey, what about this? Hey, what about that?" And I'm like, we just had a meeting and we decided that. If you want to change it, we're going to have another meeting with everybody involved. So that can be heard. But there are all these like little things like trying to go, and there's all these little side conversations of like, we call them silos, but like to me, it's like controlling the information, and it feels very political, and I hate it. But I'm trying to figure out how to change how I act, because I've been brought up in several discussions about how I'm hard to work with. And so anyway, so that's the drama that I'm working through with work, but y'all don't need to know that. Y'all don't even care about that. But I do hate adulting sometimes. So East Coast said, line of sight out the window when it's sunny outside, and you get 100 feet away from you with a gray drone. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, we can start talking about visual line of sight. I think visual line of sight is frustrating with FPV drones, even if you weren't flying FPV, because you tend to fly close to things and you tend to fly through things. And Steve is always trying to call me out on my videos about fly visual line of sight or whatever, and where I'm at in my neighborhood. Like if I fly a mile that way, I can still see my drone. It's a dot in the sky, but as long as I'm watching it the whole time, I know where it's at. If I look away and look back, it's kind of hard to see. But there's that little trick of you can't really scan the sky and find your drone again. But if you look there and then look there and then look there and then look there, and then when you find like the little black dot, then you kind of know that that's where your drone is. But it is pretty interesting whenever your gray drone is down or the sun shining on it and it just looks like the same color as the sky. Those things are frustrating. Doug is a peacock. He needs to fly. What's up, Doug? Hope you're having a good night. Lambo's in the house. What's up, Lambo? Hope you're having a good night. Desktop. Not sure what that means. So Doug says, do I need a different remote to do flips with the Avata 2? So they just released a firmware update today. Might have been yesterday. But I started seeing videos about it today. That they have added the ability to do the acro modes. There's an ant on my screen. They have added that ability today to the remote 2, I believe. We're gonna go through the spec. We're gonna go through the sheet tonight and see the release notes and see just kind of what the release notes say. I don't know. I haven't tested anything because I had stuff to do today. But I have both remotes. I've got the remote that came with the FPV drone, the original DJI FPV, and then I have the remote that came with, or the remote that I bought for the Avata 2, the remote that just came out. So I'll be able to test both of those. I also have every pair of goggles that ever worked with the Avata 1. So all the goggles confuse me. I don't know if they're DJ goggles, DJ FPV goggles too, or what. But I've got the original. Whoa! I just saw a mockingbird. There's like 30 cicadas that just went out of that tree because a mockingbird went in there and tried to eat one of them. But I've got all the goggles. I've got the Integras. So I've got the goggles that came with the Avata 2. No, the goggles that came with the Avata, the goggles that came with the Avata 2, and the Integras. So I can test capabilities, or I can test all those things, but it might take a while to test all of them. But eventually I will. But I don't know. I don't want to be one of those channels that just tries to break things either. So, but I might do a firmware update video and then just try a bunch of things. So we'll see how that works. Who else we got? Mark White's in the house. What's up, Mark? Hope you're having a good night. Who else? Oh, now it started over again. Dang it. I hate it when it does that. All right, we're back. So I figured out why my chat restarts. So my chat on Talk Studio will tell me everything that people say, right? And then I go live, and then it starts over and pulls in all of those chats again. So when I'm doing roll call, so I literally just did roll call well, I don't know, because I've been talking for a while. So CT says, Connecticut says, I'm so with you, Sean. I can't do anything about it. Then I steer around it. Don't bother with it. No news for me. And steer around the rabbit holes. Yep. Okay. Here's the Captain Joe conspiracy. One channel, one brown, Captain Joe, or Joe is good. Okay. Got it. So Doug says, try Visine allergy will clear your sinuses right up. Yeah. Yeah. I will do that. Thank you. So East Coast said they digging a pool across the street. No. So if you've watched any of my backyard flight videos, I usually shoot my drone in that direction to begin with, or I shoot it over in that direction. So over in that direction is where they are building houses kind of in that corner of the neighborhood. But if I fly the drone over in that direction, they are just now starting to build over there. I think they might have like maybe 10 or 15 houses built, but they're building an entire loop. So, and then there's my neighbor Maria trying to get my attention. So she's banging on the window. So East Coast still enjoys his one-of-a-kind hat. He wears it proudly. So I don't know if you guys noticed that I have a fox hat on tonight. And I'm pretty excited about this hat. I'll get it real close to the screen. It is 3D printed. Okay. I 3D printed my logo, and I want to show you guys real quick. As you guys know, I recently got a Bamboo Lab A1 printer. And it came with an AMS light, which is a, how do I describe it? It holds 4 spools of filament, and I can print multiple colors. I can print 4 colors with the AMS light. And so I got all my foxhorn colors, designed my logo, and I'll show you guys. This is kind of what the logo is. It's a little bit bigger on the hat version, but these are wings that I'm making to kind of, like, if you want a set of wings, it's a $10 super chat, and I will send you some wings, but it's very flat, right? And did I not bring them? I didn't bring them. Okay, well, I can't show you now. But so I've been playing around with different lengths or different the z-axis, different girths maybe, because there's width, height, and then whatever the z-axis is. But thicknesses, we'll call it thicknesses. I've been playing around with different thicknesses, and so this, I believe, was either 2.5 millimeters or 3 millimeters thick. And it was just kind of big enough to kind of cast a puffy patch shadow on it. But so these are the original. I did this with these have kind of different thicknesses on the colors so that the colors kind of stick out. But I wanted to make a flat version. So this is literally flat. Because something else that I printed out was I found a guy had he created these like hat hangers, and basically what it is it's the front of a hat, and you kind of hang your hat on it. So I was like, and when I peeled one of these off of the printer one day, it kind of bent. And I was like, okay, so if I print this thing and I peel it off the 3D printer bed while it's hot, it's like bendable. And so what I did was I printed basically two fronts of a hat. And then I put this logo on it, and then I compressed it. So I made like a curve clamp, and that added a curve. So I'll show you guys. So it's not flat on the hat, it's actually curved. And then I was trying to figure out how to attach it to my hat, and I just got some gel super glue. And the super glue set in 45 seconds. So I was able to kind of get it in the hat. It's still a touch crooked. So I'm thinking about figuring out how to make a template so that I can put the logo on the hat perfectly every time. But so anyway, I use super glue gel to super glue it on here. And the reason I did that is because I really like the baby blue side and the gray. I really like the hat. And the places that I can get embroidery done on the internet do not have this hat. And I really wanted this hat. So I bought this on Amazon. Let me see how much this hat was on Amazon. I don't think it cost that much. So let's see. Oh, there it is right there. So this hat was $10.95. Okay, so I bought this hat for $10.95, this blank hat, on Amazon, and then I printed my logo and put it on there. And you could say it was for free because I printed it, but I spent about $500 on a 3D printer. But the fact that I did all that and figured out that process, now I can make some cool hats. So this was just a test to see if I could do it. But it says that like it takes about 24 hours to completely set the glue. And the glue will withstand 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So once this glue sets, it's like a gel set, it will be a part of the hat, and I won't be able to take it back off. So I was thinking about using magnets or Velcro or all that kind of stuff, but I think this worked out pretty well, and I'm pretty excited about it. And now I can make a hat say whatever I want to now that I've figured out the process. So I might make a video on how to make a custom hat using your 3D printer, a little bit of software on the internet, and and some super glue. So anyway, I was really excited about that. Let's see if I missed anybody coming in. Somebody said something about my gazebo. So East Coast said, did the storms take the top of your gazebo? Yes. They've been ripped for a while, but not ripped enough to warrant taking it down. But the last storm that came through, the tornadoes that hit, I think the tornado landed in Colombia, if I'm not mistaken. It actually went across I-65, but it basically ripped the whole side of the gazebo. So I get paid tomorrow, and I'll be ordering a new gazebo top. They're not that much. They're like $130 on Amazon. And that one lasted 3 years. So not bad. It's a convertible gazebo. Actually, I was pretty embarrassed when I took the So I've got all these lights. I'm going to try to do this without breaking my computer. But it's got all these lights. Oh, and the topper didn't get messed up. So I'm just going to keep that one up there. But the lights that I've got hanging from my gazebo, they look really bad without the top on the gazebo. They actually looked pretty amazing with the gazebo up there, because the gazebo top was kind of is really dark and the wires are black, and their light bulbs are like acrylic, so if they fall and hit the concrete, they're not going to shatter. And they're supposed to have they have an app that you can connect to it and adjust your scene to make it look great, but the app never works very well. So anyway, but they were, what I like about them is they're kind of weatherproof, and they have like a little, they're extendable. So I could buy it, I have one set, maybe I got two sets. I've got probably two sets that came in a package, and then, but on the very end they have, right, yep, right here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little dangle that has a little screw on it, a little screw cap on it, and I can add another string to the end of it, and it'll all be controlled by the same powers and stuff. Lance is in the house. What's up, Lance? Let's see how behind I am on the chat. That was at 7:03, and it's 7:19, so I am 16 minutes behind. Welcome, Lance, to the chat 16 minutes ago. Hope you're having a good night. Jim's Droning is in the house. He can work with anyone. Just remember, he is the boss. Yep. Yeah. So I work in corporate America, and it's kind of like Office Space. Like, whenever I do something wrong or I make a mistake, I get to hear about it from 8 different bosses. I don't know if you remember that scene, but like he messed up the TPS reports, and several people walked by his desk telling him that he did something wrong. That's how I feel in corporate America. So Doug's the boss of 10 people, and they all love him. All right. Gary's in the house. What's up, Gary? How can you have a stream while the hockey game is about to start? I don't even know who's playing. Are the Preds playing hockey? Oh my gosh. That was my neighbor, y'all. All right, so Mark said, not quite as frustrating as our visual line of sight, where the CAA CU not only have to see it, but know which direction it's pointing. So what's a CAA? What would that be? I don't know what a CAA means. I hate acronyms, by the way. It's not your fault, but I always tell people that acronyms are like an inside joke. Like, if you know, you know. But if you don't, what was the point? Reslermania's in the house. What's up, Resler? Hope you're having a good night. Hey, Sean, can't stay long. Just wanted to stop with a quick hello and show some support. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful night. All right, so Stephen Drones. This was Stephen Drones' comment on Foxhorn. Pilot Institute said to Steve, having a visual observer with you is required to keep an eye on the drone at all times and capable of communicating directly with you. Okay. That is all good to know. So that's pretty good. So I know that Ken is like Ken Heron. He spends a lot of time letting you know that he has a visual observer. Like he always has like he kind of proves a point. Like, okay, yeah, I've got somebody with me. There are a lot of people that will fly FPV, and they don't necessarily have a visual observer, but they're at like a meetup with other people, and so, and it's really, in my opinion, it's really up to you. Like for example, when I was flying the train museum, there wasn't another person there except for the janitor ladies. But if anybody asked me, I could say that the janitor ladies were acting as my visual observer. And it's really my word against theirs. You know in your heart of hearts whether you're doing the right thing or not. But if it really came down to it, the worst thing that could happen is they would just ask you to bring your drone in. There are a lot of rules, like let's say like driving, for instance. There are driving rules where you're required to drive the speed limit. But then there are country roads that don't have speed limits on them at all. And so where do you draw the line there? How, like, are you breaking the law if you're driving 45 miles an hour on a road that doesn't have a stop sign on it or doesn't have a speed limit sign on it? Or like, I get it if I was going to like let's say my neighborhood, for instance, we don't have road signs on a lot of the streets in my neighborhood. We don't have like it's not posted exactly what the rule is there. And there are a lot of people that they'll do U-turns in intersections. The stop signs are optional, and those types of things really make me mad. Because they won't even like drive on the right side of the road. They just drive in the middle of the road. And so I'm curious as to what you guys feel, how you guys feel about obeying the rules whenever they're enforced, obeying the rules when they're not enforced, and what do you do whenever nobody else is around and you're not hurting anybody? The visual line of sight rule, the importance of the visual line of sight rule is so that you don't lose connection, so that there's not anything between you and your drone, and if your instruments, there's a little chipmunk, or maybe that's a rat. So like when you're flying visual line of sight, like the whole point of that rule is so that that you don't crash into anything. So I'm curious as to if you're by yourself, and if there's nobody else around, and if there's no enforcement of that rule, and you're flying recreational, is it really important? Because I guarantee you, everybody in this chat does break some rule. Well, I can't say that. I will say that there are times in my life that I've broken rules, but I took the responsibility of knowing whether or not that the rule that I just broke was going to hurt anybody or is just going to hurt me, or if it even mattered. So I will say that. But if you're in a park and someone comes up to you and they don't like you flying your drone, don't. Just move on. It's not that big of a deal, I don't think. The other rule that I wanted to talk about, and Steve reminds us all the time not to fly over people. The guy from Pilot Institute, I was watching him on like the instructor guy. He mentioned that you're not supposed to hover over people, but you can fly over people. You just can't point your drone, hover over people, hover over large crowds, but you can, and even cars. Like you can drive over a car, or you can fly over a car, as long as you're moving over the car. But you need to take your own, you need to take responsibility of your drone. If you know that you've flown your drone, like I've flown my drone hundreds of miles at this point, and I know it's not going to fall out of the sky. I've flown it in the wind. I've flown it even in the rain a little bit, and I know that it stayed in the sky. I know how far to go without losing connection. I know how to stay away from things. And so I don't have any problem flying over cars, driving on the road anymore. Will I fly the Avata through traffic on the interstate? No, I won't do that. But you've got to take into account your own responsibility and whether or not you think it's a good idea or not. If you don't think it's a good idea, don't do it. Straight up. But it's also like, it's none of my business what you do with your drone. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my stance on it. I do get frustrated when other people don't obey the rules. But I also get exhausted judging and making sure other people do the right thing. So yeah. So let me see. Okay, 706. That's my 2 cents on it. Rezer says, remember to thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. It shows Sean that you care, and it's free. Thank you, sir. That's wonderful. All right, I'm going to try to skip through some of this so I can catch up to y'all. And I hope I'm not going to miss anybody. Mark said width, height, and depth. So, Dewey, are you asking how much would it cost for me to print your logo or my logo? I don't know. We can talk about it. It depends on what you want to do. If you want me to print your logo and send you some, I would say the cost would just be buying the filament that is the colors of your logo. That's probably the only cost that it would for me, and then shipping them to you. But we can talk on the side if you want to do that. But for me to print my logo, this one here has white, orange, and blue. Those are the only 3 colors. And so the filament's $20 each. So it cost me so $60 to buy the filament. But I have literally printed, I think I could print 16 at a time. And 16 at a time took me, because the waste that happens is just when it changes colors. So there's the same amount of waste if you print one logo as if you print like 16, if you fill the whole sheet, the whole bed with them. So, but I can probably print, I would say 10,000 logos this size. for $60. I mean, like, I haven't even scratched the surface of the filament that I bought. So anyway, fox birds have large talons. Nice. Yeah, so East Coast I use Gorilla Glue gel. Yep, you could probably do a sticker. What gave me this idea is I bought a hat in Gatlinburg for Flavortown, the Guy Freddy's restaurant, and it was almost this color, but it was like the neon teal color, and it's my favorite hat. And it says Flavortown on it, and it's a patch, but it's rubber, and I'm trying to figure out if it was 3D printed or if it was like pressed and then painted or something like that. But it was literally glued on the hat. It's not stitched on the hat at all. So that's kind of where I got this idea. Bob Casey's in the house. What's up, Bob? Oh, something I wanted to talk about, since Bob just reminded me of it, is I saw on Club Foxhorn that Brent Eat More Possum might be at Minefield this year. And so I wanted to bring that up. I would love to meet you in person. So Bob says he doesn't have any power and he's got crazy weather. I kind of feel bad. It's beautiful here in Nashville. We had some crazy weather last week a little bit, but it's really nice right now. But I hope you get some power, brother. And I hope everybody's safe. I hate the crazy weather. I thought like May was supposed to be flowers, not showers. But I feel like we've had more rain in May than we did in April. I might be wrong, but so Doug says he got a new iPad Pro. He's replacing the MacBook Pro for now. Has anyone else tried this? So far, so good. Yeah, Doug, I think it depends on what you do. I am a software engineer, and there are programs that aren't available on the iPad that I have to use. Most things are on the cloud, though. So like I use Figma, like this Talk Studio, I can do this on an iPad. And the iPad Pros have keyboards and mice, right? That was the biggest challenge in the past with tablets, was that you weren't able to use a mouse with them. But I would say if you have a mouse and you have a keyboard, then, and everything that you do is either on the internet or on an application that you have on your iPad, then I think you're good. I really do. A lot of the things that I do, like you can do some video editing on the iPad. I guess DaVinci Resolve, they've got a full version of DaVinci Resolve on the iPad, so you can do that. And then a lot of like word processing or Excel, PowerPoint. There's a lot of those things on an iPad as well. The biggest thing would just be the software that or the technology that the software is designed on. iPads, so Mac is pretty closed, but iPad's even closer. It's even tighter. So the capabilities of Xcode and what you can build for the iPad still has some limitations, but that's what I tell people whenever they get a phone. They're like, should I get an iPhone or an Android? And I'm like, what are you going to do with it? If you're just going to look at Facebook and you're going to call people and you're going to text people and you're going to watch YouTube and you're going to look at Instagram, like you can do that on any phone nowadays. So just pick the one you like. Some of them have better cameras than others. But if all you care about is taking a picture, they all take good pictures. I can take log video on my phone, and I can clock the frames per second, and I can do all these things on my phone, but most people really don't care about that. So do what makes you happy, man. That's my advice. So Jim said there's crazy rain there. Dusty said there was really bad hail in Texas right now. Doug said the barbecue smoker cover. So I'm assuming you're talking about that. Yeah, I'm going to 3D print a new one of those. See how long that lasts in the hot sun. The thing I'm worried about is my logo changing shape in the sun. So I don't know how that's going to work out. But my son's on his way home. Who else we got? So Bob said he's got tree limbs and branches everywhere. Aftermath cleanup. Aftermath cleanup when they get that. So you're going to clean up whenever the power comes back on. All right, I can feel my nose starting to tighten up, so I'm gonna throw some sweet tea in here. So tonight's live stream is brought to you by Gold Peak Zero Sugar Sweet Tea. And it's real brewed, y'all. Real brewed. None of that powdered crap. Oh, yeah. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but I got some ASMR over here. ASMR. What time is it? 7:40. Man, I've just been talking. Are y'all enjoying the show? I feel like I'm just rambling to y'all. I've got 15 people in here, though. So that's good. I need to brighten my screen up a little bit. There we go. Woo. Okay. So the UK is the Civil Aviation Authority. So that's their... Oh, so, okay. That makes total sense. So you've got civil government, and we have federal government, and maybe it's the exact same thing. Been busy looking after the wife. Oh yeah, Jim, how's your wife doing? All right. You might have already said that in the chat. So Jim said she's recovering. She had a bad operation and almost died with internal bleeding. So Mark said, if a road does not have a speed limit sign on it, then the national speed limit applies. What's the national speed limit? Because we have several in our nation. And I don't know what the national one is. So Steve does visual line of sight because he doesn't want to lose his drone. So he's not taking his eye off of his drone. With that said, Steve, I know exactly where my drone is at all times. And it's actually easier for me to know where my drone is when I'm looking through the goggles than if my drone is a little dot in the sky, 800 feet away, if that makes sense. So if visual line of sight is to know where your drone is, then I always know where my drone is. And I actually walk the property before I fly. Most people don't do that, but like even the train museum that I flew wasn't very big. So I could literally look at it, pull my drone up in the sky and look at it and see where things were. But for example, the Thomasville, Georgia flight that I did, that was a strange place to me because I'd never been there before in my life. And I drove my car around the park to see where things were. But I did not go to, like, once I flew past the bridge, I did not drive over there to see that stuff. But when I'm in the air, you're really not going to hit anything. If you're in the air, um, you just need to be mindful of birds and planes and stuff like that. And with a lot of the new technology that they have in drones, so your drone is on the map and it shows you where you are on the map. But the other thing that's really awesome is the home point that they've added to the drones recently, that no matter what direction you're in, you know where you are. So there's been times, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, where I flew my drone, especially if you're flying over like landscapes that are just like trees, you can really disorient yourself if all you see is a forest. Like flying straight out in that direction, 5 years ago, there were nothing but trees. And so, and there, like, I had to turn around, and then I could, when you lift up pretty high, you could kind of tell where you flew away from. But having that home point on your screen is brilliant because it's really easy to get turned around. So you just kind of point your drone at that H and just start going in that direction, and then all of a sudden you'll hear it. But I just to say that I know where my drone is when I'm flying in the goggles better than I know where my drone is when it's in the sky. Because even though that I can see it over there, I really can't tell what I'm on top of. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're pointing your camera straight forward, you're looking at like 400 feet that way. You're not looking at where you are. And I did a video a while back, several years ago, where I did a mission flight with the Paradanafi. I did the same mission 3 times. I did the mission flying with the drone pointing straight forward, with the camera pointing straight down, and then the camera pointing at like maybe a 60 or a 30-degree angle. And then I did a 3-camera shoot. But what we noticed in that video is when you're looking forward and you're looking, like when I switched to the down, I was all that like a minute. So that's always interesting. So Dewey says that's one downside. Goggles on you don't. Oh wait, goggles on. You don't know who's gonna creep up on you. Or still a bear. Oh, imagine if a bear creeped up on you while you were flying FPV. It was hard enough for me to fly my Avata at the South Florida drone meetup with TJ Giggles shooting a potato gun. That thing, I got so many jump scares when that thing went off. It's like sound like a shotgun. Um, Man, I'm 20 minutes behind y'all. All right, I'm gonna skip through a lot of this. Okay, so JC, Sean, like line of sight. Come on. You can go straight up past the point and can't see it. I disagree with that. I can see my drone over there. Most of the flights that I do, John, are around me. So I mean there's times that I've lost the drone in the sky, but I still know where I'm at. Um, especially if I fly in my backyard, I know where the neighborhoods are. I know if my drone fell out of the sky, I know exactly where it fell. You know, those types of things. But most of the time I take off in a central location and I really only fly, you know, maybe 1,000 feet in any direction, and I can still see my drone there. But like you, John, at the South Florida Drone Meetup, where you were like, I'm gonna fly across the bay and go over there. I guarantee you weren't able to see your drone at that point. So all right, here we go. So Jim said, just be safe, not stupid. It's great advice. So Stephen Drone said, I will never fly over anyone. One time it fell out of the sky and made a 1-inch hole in the ground. I think I saw that video. Was that you? Or was that you sent me in where another one fell out of the sky? Pretty sure I saw Typhoon H fall out of the sky. And I thought that was your video, but it might not have been. All right. So, man, I'm still 20 minutes behind y'all. So Lance mentioned, I believe you can only fly over people or moving cars if you have prop guards. That is the biggie. But you also need to take into account the category of your drone, weight, power, etc. Yeah. So again, that's just common sense. If you have any thought in your mind that your drone's going to fall out of the sky, don't fly it over people. But there are whenever someone's getting like FAA approval to fly over somewhere, I guarantee you there's people there. Just about every drone video you see on the internet, there's people in it. So getting special approval to fly over people, even like drones at like football games and stuff like that, there's drone footage now of all of that. Or news stations, firefighters, like they're all approved to fly over people. So, but yeah, it's all common sense. Did I miss somebody? I don't think I missed it. Oh, John, welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a good night. I guess I did see you. What else we got? So are you making fun of me, Bob? I am engaged with my audience. I'm just 20 minutes behind y'all. So East Coast, where's Minefield? Jonesboro, Tennessee? Is it Jonesboro? Let me look that up. Brownsville. So it's August 24th in Brownsville, Tennessee. All right, I'm catching up. Bob likes Milos. Yeah, I'm drinking Gold Peak because, dang, that truck is back. I'm drinking Gold Peak because that's what they had in bulk at BJ's. Anytime I can find something zero sugar, I try to get it because I'm diabetic. So yeah. So if I eat sugar as a diabetic, I'll go into a coma. But if I eat artificial sweetener, I'll just get Alzheimer's. So, but either way, I won't remember it. That's an old man joke. Probably close to home. It's probably not funny to people, but there it is. So Jim said that his wife is better, but still recovering. So if y'all could keep Jim's wife in your prayers, that would be wonderful. Doug said with all the crazy weather, he wonders if the government. Yeah, let's just blame the weather. Let's blame all these tornadoes on Biden too. Why not? Oh, so civil refers to civilian rather than military. Gotcha. So when we had a civil war, it was people fighting people. Ooh, so Doug, Confucius say, if you're doing the speed of light and you turn your lights on, does anything happen? So I watched a video about that, not about speed of light, but I watched a video where there was a boat and the boat was pulling a trampoline, and then the guy on the trampoline was doing flips. And so what happens is, like if you're on a bus and you're walking, if you're walking on the bus, you're just walking normal. But if the bus is going 65 miles an hour, you're walking 65 miles an hour plus your walking speed. So if you're traveling at the speed of light and you turn your lights on, your lights are actually speeding at twice the speed of light. Think about that. Okay. Physics. Okay, so John said, when a road has no speed limit on it, it's the same as the road you just left. I don't know if I agree with that either. So what if there's a road and this road that just intersected with it has a 45 mile an hour speed limit, but this other road that intersected with it has a 35 mile an hour speed limit? Which one do you choose? Does the guy that left the 45 mile an hour road does he get to drive faster than the guy that left the 35 mile an hour road? I don't know. All right. Jim said he's in Canada and could see Steve flying his drone. Steve's got a big old drone, don't he? All right. I just sounded really country there. Let's see if my hat is still. Oh, y'all! I think the Gorilla Glue is gonna work. That's a good looking hat, y'all. I'm excited. I wonder if... No, I don't have it here. On my other computer, I also made a skull version of the foxhorn. So I took a longhorn cow skull, and then I kind of squished the skull down so that it matched the eyes and the nose of... Man, this is hard to do. Match the... I'm going to do this with one finger. Match the nose and the eyes of my fox. Put kind of the ear holes in the same position, and then I've got the horns. It looks really cool. Kind of excited about it. So Bob liked my flight at the train museum. I really appreciate it. I get mixed feelings whenever I do a slow motion FPV drone flight, but I feel like videos like the train museum, there's so much to look at that if you just fly by it really fast, there's like the excitement of flying by it really fast, but you don't notice everything that's in the video. I will say that I used an ND filter on the drone, and it looked really good in the sky. But when I got down in between the drones, I don't think I had enough light to really pull that off. So there's a lot of noise whenever I'm down low, especially when I'm not facing the sun. Or it might have been when I was facing the sun and the sky was really blown out. Like the dynamic range wasn't very good. I kind of want to do the same type of flight with the Avata 2 and see how much better it is. And they just added, with the firmware update, they added 4K 100 frames per second. So I can do really good slow motion now with my Avata 2. So I'm kind of excited to try that out. But I appreciate your good comment on my video. I really like doing slow motion. I really like slow motion video. Maybe it's because I'm older. Like, it's one thing to watch a thrill video or like people doing flips with their FPV drones. I really enjoy those videos too. But usually the videos of that I like are like in a park where there's really not much to look at. It's more fun just to go fast or watch from a camera that's going really fast in that video. But videos that are on location, or like a great example is that big guitar building that everybody's taking videos of. Like that one, I just kind of just want to watch the guitar. I want to go slow. I want to see the show that's on the guitar. I don't want to fly past things really fast. So I appreciate those comments. But even like where we went out to like Pilot Rock, that area, you could fly 40 miles an hour and it would look like you're flying slow because the landscape is so vast. So I appreciate your comments. Whew. I'm still 20 minutes behind y'all. All right, I'm gonna hope I don't miss anybody. I'm gonna fast forward so I can talk about what y'all are talking about. Brownsville. I just caught up to that. All right, I'm 10 minutes behind. So Dusty said it's 11 and a half hours from him. Yeah. South Florida Drone Meetup was, I think, 14 hours from me. So if that helps. Steven Drone says, show some videos. He's tired of me talking. All right. Mark said it takes an awful lot of sugar to get your blood sugar levels high enough to go into a coma. You are more likely to go into a coma if you get your sugar level too low. Oh, okay. I've actually had that happen. Like I've had some low sugar episodes. All right. Jim has a drone joke. Why are drone pilots considered snobs? Because they look down on everyone. Nice. I like that. John's still arguing with me. So he said that if the road has no speed limit, then it's the same as the one you just turned off of. But so what you're saying, John, is the guy that just turned off of the 35-mile-an-hour road has to go 10 miles an hour slower than the guy that turned off of the 45-mile-an-hour road. That doesn't seem fair. All right. Amazon just ooh. So Jim said Amazon just got approved for drone delivery. We now have skeet shooting with prizes. So does an AI drone? Can an AI drone fly over people? I don't know how you deliver a package in a neighborhood without flying over people. And does it do the delivery drones have to be line of sight? So those are important questions. Because I can fly a mission on my drone, and you're supposed to adhere to visual line of sight there, but it's very easy to fly an automated flight and get your drone back all in one piece, not even controlling the drone with a mission. So concerned about that. So Bob said dropping in between the train cars was awesome. It was a lot of fun to fly. It really was. I had so much fun on that whole trip. Because here, like during the day on my lunch break, I can really only fly like 15 minutes away, get a flight in, and then drive back to work, and maybe go through a drive-through on the way back. But have it like, on a road trip, like I would just drive, and then I'd see something that I want to film, and I would just stop, and I'd take an hour, and I would just fly around the museum, or I'd fly around Buc-ee's. I do have a Buc-ee's video I haven't even shown y'all yet. So all right, it's 8:06. Stevie Brox is in the house. What's up, man? Welcome to the chat. All right. I am caught up. All right. So Dewey just posted a couple videos in the club. I wanted to show you a couple things that I've 3D printed, and then I'm going to call it a night. But I have been going crazy. Bob mentioned that I should do a light like Ken Dono has of his Dono logo. So this is the foxhorn lamp. So I made it. It was actually super easy to do. This was one of the easiest things that I did. I did it exactly like I did this, just bigger. And then in my graphic design application, I created an outline around the whole thing. So even if you look, that's the inside of it. Okay. So I really just printed like maybe 3 layers of my logo. And then the outline, I just made the outline really, really tall. And then to make the back of it, I inverted it. So I did the logo. So the back side of it is the logo plus the outline. And on the inside, I just made this kind of tall. So it created a lid. And it was super easy. So there's that. I found a um, a I found a low poly. So if you're familiar with like 3D design, you design with polygons, which are triangles or squares or like just any kind of like flat shape. And so I found a low poly fox. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but I printed it with like this silk material, like iridescent silk material. And so it is a fox head. And then I found a low poly longhorn bull. And so I took the horns off of the low poly bull and I put them on my fox. And now I have a low poly fox horn, which looks cool from this side. And it looks cool on this side too. Isn't that neat? So I have like I'm gonna turn these into like trophies or something. I'm afraid if I like send this in the mail that the horns are gonna break off. But it is really, really cool, y'all. So that is the low poly foxhorn. I've been going kind of foxhorn nuts. I think that's all I have with the foxhorns. I designed. I've also been trying to print with TPU. And to give an example, here's a baseball that I printed in TPU, and it's very squishy. But I also printed some dampers for like a camera mount for the drone, and the dampers didn't turn out they weren't very squishy at all. They were actually pretty solid. So I think to make TPU really squishy, it needs to be like have holes everywhere. So this is the Avata. And I printed bumpers out of TPU. And I switched old school because I can't use the AMS with TPU. So I printed a little bit, and then I paused the print, changed filament to the other TPU, printed an orange stripe for a little while, and then went back to gray and printed the rest. But this gray TPU I think looks awesome on my drone, on my Avata 2. And then I just printed a gray bumper for the front. It's made out of TPU, and it clips on just like the gimbal cover. So it's not going to hurt these. I know Ken Dobo put a video out about not using these bumpers because you're using the screw, and if your drone gets impacted from the front, it's going to mess up that screw. But this particular design just clips on. So there's that. And then you guys have seen the feet before, the little folding feet. But so this is TPU, right? So it comes off pretty easy, and it's squishy. But I took the same STL and I put horns on it. So this was Jim's idea. He said, don't put the horns on the bumpers. Put them on the drone, or on the front bumper. So I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like. I'm gonna try to do this in the dark without breaking it. That's good enough. So now I've got bull horns from my Avata 2. So that's pretty cool. I made him point straight up because I didn't want these to be the first thing that hit the tree. I wanted the bumper to still do what it did, but I wanted to give it horns. And there's no easy way to print this to make the horns white and everything else a different color. So I just left it white. And just to give you guys an idea, when I made them white and everything else like orange or gray or whatever, the difference is I could either print it for an hour, all one color, or it would take 8 hours to color it. So I decided not to do all that. All right. What else we got in my goodie bag? I also wanted to show you guys this. So this is a bumper that I bought for the Avata 2 that is I bought it on Etsy, and it's not Dobo, it's Aerial Pixels. And I really want this model to print on my own because this might be kind of hard to see, but how it attaches to the drone is it actually covers the feet on the Avata. So this little part right here, it actually kind of creates a landing surface. And so I'm either going to figure out how to download or buy that model, or I'm just going to spend a week designing it myself because I don't think that'd be that hard. But yeah, so the biggest thing about tonight is the fact that I 3D printed a patch for my hat. I was super excited about that. I think I'm definitely going to do a video about that because that's probably the smartest thing I've done in a while. I had to think outside of the box for that one. I just saw a bat fly by. I haven't seen a bat. Oh, I bet the bats are eating the cicadas. That's pretty cool. All right. So it is getting dark, and I have my laptop plugged into the plug that usually lights up the back porch. So I'm going to sign off for tonight. But thank you all for hanging out. Just a reminder that the AV Club is going away, but Club Foxhorn on Facebook is what's replacing that. And I just don't want to be an admin anymore. It's taken up a lot of time, and it's really not benefiting me at all, other than the fact that I get to see what you guys do, but I can do that on Facebook. And I know a couple of you don't have Facebook, and that's okay. You can, I still watch your channels too. So if you want to send me an email with a video you want me to show on the stream, I can do that too. So if you're boycotting Facebook or don't want to be a part of Facebook, you don't have to be. But I'm not going to spend any more money on the club. So yeah, thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to hit the like button. I think it helps me if you hit the like button and you make a comment. I know you guys comment in the chat, so that might count. I'm not sure, but yeah, I really appreciate every single one of you. Stay creative. Just a reminder, prayers for Jim's wife. And then I know Bob's got some weather going on, and so if y'all would pray for him as well. Yeah, y'all stay safe and keep flying. Stay creative. I don't know what special catchphrase I'm going to come up with. Think creative. Be outside of the box. Grow a beard. I don't know. But y'all have a wonderful week, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace out, y'all.